guys, welcome back to the studio. So today's journal entry is actually inspired by a Facebook Live that I followed with Donna Downey. If you don't know who Donna Downey is, she is absolutely one of my favorite artists. She has inspired so much of my work. I absolutely love her teaching style and her painting style. If I can figure out how to put a link in the description of this video, then I will do so. So for this entry, I'm only using 4 colors, but you can use any colors that you want. The ones that I have are cyan, quinacridone red, permanent green light, and cadmium yellow medium. And then I'll have my gesso that I use for my white paint. So we're just going to play around with color here. We're not trying to recreate an exact color wheel. In order to create the color wheel, you really need to be precise with the amounts of paints that you're mixing together, putting them in order, and recording them. So that's not really our goal here. We just want to play around with the colors, see what we get when we mix them together, what happens when we add a little bit of white, and just put that down on paper. Honestly, the colors that are on the palette are not colors that I find very appealing. They're not ones that I would normally gravitate to. But you can see here, just by mixing that blue and that red together, the really pretty purple that you get, and then the mauve when you add the white. So it's interesting sometimes to know which blues and which reds you mix together to get certain purples. These types of exercises can really become your foundation of color theory. I mean, you can stare at a color wheel all day long and still not understand how to recreate certain colors. And I know that because I have done it myself. I purchased a color wheel because I thought every artist needs a color wheel. But for the longest time, I didn't even understand how to use the color wheel, how to interpret it, and what to do with it. So these kinds of exercises can be a lot of fun because there's nothing like mixing those colors together and discovering firsthand what you can recreate from them. And this can help you in future projects when you're looking for a very specific color or tone or just an overall color palette. You can go back to these references that you've made and go, oh, that's how I got this color or this value. I wish that you could see my whole palette here in the video, but this is one of the first recordings that I did, and unfortunately, when I did this recording, I sat down and I did 2 of them back to back, 2 journal entries, only to find out later on that my digital SLR automatically turns off after 12 minutes of recording. I did not know that. I was so upset when I discovered that, and I thought, oh my goodness, now what? I can't even do anything with these recordings. So I was going to just junk them and delete them, and I thought, no, don't do that. The whole point of starting the YouTube channel in the beginning was to share all of the ups and downs and imperfections of learning this whole process. So, lesson learned. I then turned around and went and bought a Canon camcorder, so that will not happen again. Moving right along now, in the second row, I first started off with just the quinacridone red, and then continued with adding a little bit of yellow and then white to that as well. This one here I added a touch of the cyan, which kind of made it a bit muddy, almost a flesh tone, like in the shadow. I don't even know what you call that color. Dirt? Call it dirt. Dirt on my face. That's the color. So at this point, I'm not really mixing any colors with any rhyme or reason. I'm just playing around. I start off with one of the colors out of the tube, and then just experiment with adding a little bit of the next color and then a little bit of the next, and then white to create a value from that color. And then I just grab some of the other colors that are on my palette. Again, I'm sorry that you can't see this. There really is no method to the madness. It's just playing with the colors. This kind of exercise can also be done as a background to any of your pieces. Maybe you just grab 3 or 4 colors, put them on your palette, and just start mixing them together to see if you can find a color palette from those colors that you chose to paint with. And then you end up covering this all the color swatches that you put down. So don't feel defeated or boxed in by the idea of doing this thinking, what's the point of mixing colors with no rhyme or reason? Sometimes it's just about having fun and experimenting, because you really don't know what kind of inspiration you'll draw from these types of exercises. I really like that color, that bluish there, and then the wine red that's on the top right as well. So yeah, again, it's just about experimenting with colors and what you get when you mix them together. It really is the best way to learn color theory. I know for myself, I never enjoyed color theory, or even learning art history was always so boring in high school. I hated it. I just wanted to create. I just wanted to paint or to draw or to sculpt. I see the value in it now, and I enjoy learning more about it now as I've progressed in my artwork, because it really does serve its purpose in understanding when you want to create something. You understand how to achieve it, how to achieve the colors, and how to achieve the values and the shadows, and how to make things come forward in your pieces, and things into the background. So all of those things come with time, and I think that you need to be in the right space, the right headspace, the right state of mind to really grasp and understand those theories. I find that when you try to force it, it just doesn't happen, and you don't learn, you don't know how to put it into practice, because you kind of do it begrudgingly. So yeah, I enjoy this kind of exercise, because it's just breaking the rules a bit, if you will, and just allowing yourself to mix whatever you want together. I will, in the future, do this again and be more methodical with mixing my colors together. But for this video, it was just about playing around. So now I'm just writing down the names of the colors that I use, because I am not good enough to look at a color and say, oh yeah, of course I know that that's permanent green light. No, it's green. So this is helpful in the future if I want to know how to mix certain colors together. Then, even though I don't have the recipes there, I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. Alright, remember when I mentioned about the video cutting off? Well, we are almost at the end of this recording. Luckily, I didn't do too much beyond this point, so I don't have to walk you through too many missteps. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video so far, and I hope that you've learned something in the process. I hope that this inspires you to grab some colors that maybe you wouldn't otherwise play around with, and see what you come up with. Also, if you would like to share your creations, I would love to see what kind of color combinations you guys come up with, and how that inspires your art moving forward. You can take a picture of your artwork and go over to my Facebook page, Paintings by Melita, and share your creation over there. I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to see it. Alright, so once all the paint swatches were dry, I took my gesso and I just painted around all of the color swatches. I know it seems redundant to take white on white, but it just adds another dimension and layer to the artwork. I mean, I could leave it as is, but it just seems flat. It feels like it's unfinished. So the gesso just added that extra layer to it. Once the gesso was dry, I took some gold stickers that I had and added the word create. I took one of my markers and circled some of the colors, and then grabbed some of my stamps as well and added some pieces here and there. So that's it. That's what I came up with in this exercise. I enjoyed it, and I think that this is going to be the beginning of many more inspirations to come. I can't wait to play around with some other color combinations as well, and I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. I hope this has inspired you, and I hope that you will take up my offer and share on my Facebook page your own creations.